being confident plays such a huge role when it comes to your spiritual and personal evolvement. Knowing and trusting in yourself, knowing that you're capable of doing everything that you want to, does help you a lot when it comes to create your dream reality, or when it comes to going through a certain type of challenge. Whatever it is, having a belief in yourself and trusting yourself is so important. And I know that confidence is nothing that just is something new, right? So why do I talk about it today? Why do I believe it's so important to talk about it today? For two reasons. The first reason is that many of us are experiencing that we are wavering at this point, that we do want to make a certain type of change, especially for those who want to make things different. We want to make things different from before. So a lot of things is quite new to us. So we create a lot of manifestations that are new, that are maybe not something that feels so normal to us or hasn't become our normality. And because of that, we see some certain things in our external reality, but we dream and believe in another type of reality. And that kind of difference that we're experiencing makes us sometimes to question ourselves, makes us to waver. And also if we are in environments where we have been in for a while and we now want to shift and change to another type of environment, we're still in an environment where we may have people or we may have different type of ways of being or structures or whatever that tells us otherwise, that tells us that this is not possible or tells us that this doesn't work. It might be that you are in a time right now where you feel that lately your confidence haven't been the best and you want to get back on track, so to say, with it. Or it might be that you're feeling that maybe my confidence wasn't built on a great foundation from the beginning. No matter why, this is one of the most important things why we talk about confidence today. Secondly, I do get a lot of questions in regards to why or how more are you able to have such a huge trust in the universe? I do get those questions so often with people. How can you believe so much in something that you don't see right now? How can you believe in so much that isn't like tangible, you can't touch on? How is it that when you get an insight or when you get an idea, you just believe in that one? How is it that you believe that you are supported even though you don't see it right now or whatever it is, right? I get a lot of questions when it comes to that. And for me, I do see it because I do see it within, so to say. And I also have been needing to go through a certain type of bravery jumps, so to say, in order for me to also feel that I am more trusting. But what it boils down to is that if you have, because this is also a thing, many other people do also express their desire. Either if they ask me these questions, they're expressing the desire, or they saying it literally that I want to have more trust in the universe. And no matter what the universe is for you, like you will have to decide yourself if it's other people, if it is the universe in its whole, everything, all that is, if it is consciousness, if it is the source, if it is some God, whatever it is for you, it doesn't matter, like apply it for your own beliefs. But when we have that desire of that, we want to trust in the universe more, we do have the desire to trust in ourselves as well. Because the universe is you and you are the universe, and everything is a reflection of your internal being. So if you do have an external, quote unquote, what it seems like to be an external desire to trust in the universe, you actually have the trust, you desire to trust in yourself at first. And you have to make that kind of change from within, because it always starts from within. In order for you to make changes in your external world, in order for you to see a certain type of reality that you want to, you have to make the changes from within. So those are the two reasons what I believe is so important that we talk about confidence right here and right now. I have also become the most confident person I've ever been. And even though I do have still parts of me where I practice and boost myself so that I do have even more confidence, I've done a lot by the root. It started many years ago where I started to really face a lot of my fears. That was kind of the basis, the kind of root for all of my change or my difference in to start believing in myself again. I will not talk about that today. I will more talk about other type of tweaks which I've done throughout or along the way, so to say, in order for me to feel really confident. So let's go. The first thing I've done is that I started to embrace the dark. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean with that. I will give you an example. What happened for me a couple of weeks ago, I think it was now. So this is like a true like day to day life practical example of when you're embracing the dark. So I was about to go to a shop, a crystal shop. I'm working extra hours there. So I was about to go to that shop and I'm waking up feeling insecure. I'm waking up not feeling that I really liked my appearance at that day. And confidence is so much more than just appearance, just to say it that way. But this was for me the practical example that I had in mind. So I woke up feeling not confident in myself because I felt ugly. Everything that I put on me, I felt ugly. My clothes felt ugly, everything felt ugly. And so I started to go to the metro, still feeling ugly. And then I got a little bit, upset actually about myself. Like, okay, come on, Linnea, you know more, right? Like, why are you this mean to yourself, right? And some days when I do have some kind of down talk towards myself, or most of the days I would say it helps for me to get myself into another certain type of vibe. It helps for me to boost myself. It helps for me to really give myself love and appreciation. But I felt that didn't really work that day. It didn't really work that day. So I just embraced the dark. I instead accepted myself truly for who I was in that moment and how I felt in that moment by saying, so what? Okay, I feel ugly today. I am ugly today. Today I'm ugly. How nice. How nice. Okay, I get to be ugly. I actually get to get outside of my door, get into a place where I will meet a lot of people, and I get to be ugly. This is going to be so much fun. I'm going to have an ugly day. Today I'm going to be ugly because I feel ugly, so I'm going to be ugly. And it's okay for me. It's okay for me to be ugly. I totally accepted and released all the kind of resistance I had towards those kind of thoughts and the feelings because I allowed myself to be ugly. The thing is, many times we perceive something as negative and we perceive something as positive, and that is actually many times the root to how we feel from within. And when we can really just see that, okay, I'm ugly, does it have to mean something to me? Does it have to be something negative about that? No, it doesn't. No, actually it doesn't. Can I just own the thing that I am ugly in that case, right? Can I just own the thing? So own and embrace the dark. That's just an example. But when you feel in those moments where you are not able to, get yourself in another type of vibe or whatever, it might maybe just be because you deeply inside feel that way and you want to be able to feel that way. Can't you just accept yourself for who you are, right? In that moment. And it's not about, being meaner to yourself or, bullying yourself and say like, yeah, I am ugly and going down that route. That is not being true to yourself either. That is not helpful either. So what happened, just a little sidetrack, when I'm coming to that job, I'm opening up the door, and the first reaction from my colleague is like, wow, you look amazing today. Wow, that is such a great outfit. You look so nice today. And I was like, okay, I'm ugly and I'm this nice. I'm ugly today and I'm this nice. Wonder how nice I look like when I'm not ugly, right? So it just gave even more boost to myself because I already accepted that I felt ugly, that I was ugly. And I was like, okay, if I even get these kind of comments when I'm ugly, what kind of comments do I get when I'm good, looking good, right? And this might be something like just silly, it makes feel silly, but really, 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 this is about surrendering. This is about allowing everything that is, everything that exists. A third dimension, so to say, to this kind of story is also that when I allow myself to feel what I felt, I also allow myself to understand the underlying feelings. So instead of focusing, instead of letting my mind focus on I feel ugly, I feel ugly, I feel ugly, what should I do, what should I do, how can I do, all the thoughts that happens just because you have a certain type of feeling, that is actually distraction from your mind, from what is actually underneath and what's actually the root. But when I accepted that voice silenced, because it couldn't, like, it was like, okay, I'm accepting this, okay, and then I realized the underlying feeling. So I started to dig deeper. I was like, what is it that I'm actually feeling? Why is this kind of concept of I feel ugly? Where is it stem from? What do I feel? And it boiled down and down, and I started to feel like I'm not feeling comfortable today. It's actually that I'm not feeling comfortable in my body. It's something with my, what is it, And I started to go deeper and deeper why I didn't feel comfortable in my body. So many times when we have this kind of instant response from our brain, we also distract ourselves from knowing the full truth and seeing the full picture. Another thing which I have helped me at least to become extremely confident and really believing and trusting in myself is that I have certain type of kind of mantras, you can call it, or sayings or decisions, beliefs that I applied for my own journey. So when I go through some certain type of transformation, I always have some certain type of mindset tweak or mindset hack, a mantra which I keep on telling myself. And this one helps me to get in tune with that type of vibe which I want to transform into, in tune with that version of me who believes in a certain way or feels in a certain way about herself. So these are, I have had different ones depending on what I'm experiencing at the moment, what it is that I want to release at the moment, what it is that I want to, evolve into, take the next step or take the next level into in my life. So it really depends. It can really be different, right, from time to time. But for a moment, I remember that when I started to notice that I was questioning myself a lot, which also is something which I like, we have to make sure how we question ourselves and that we're questioning ourselves from an empowered state, so to say. But at that moment, I noticed that I'm questioning myself and it's not from an empowered state. I'm questioning myself and kind of talking myself down. So in that moment, I start to shift and say, because I noticed that many of my thoughts were like running into that, because of this happened, this will happen now. And, I was in that kind of worrying route. So because of that, I start to say that because I'm in this situation, I am going to have this. Or because of this happening to me right now, this is also happening for me. I started to link things that seem to not be something that maybe would go together, right? I start to see like this doesn't really seem to go together with this kind of desire, because this seems to be a problem. How can I make them work together? How can I make this be the perfect situation for me at this moment? So I started just saying things of that, because of that I do feel insecure right now, this will happen for me. Another one is that when I wanted to attract more so ease into my life and feel that things are really easy to me, things are really smooth in my life, for instance, and not being so much into the struggle stage and struggle mode, was then I said like, everything is just so easy. Everything comes easy to me. Wow. I always choose the easiest way. The easiest ways is always available to me. I use a lot of different type of mantras that was explaining to me and building that belief within me that ease was possible, and I was led by ease on every single day, and the easiest way was always open for me. Another one which I tell during my oracle workshops is that I tell that I had this disbelief, or I had this insecurity when I started off with oracle cards and tarot cards, of that sometimes I was a little bit unsure, like, did I pull the correct card now? Is this the right card? I don't really see how I can interpret it to my life. So was this right? I got this kind of insecurities. And then I just set the intention and decided with the energies and all, just like, I always pull the right cards. I always pull the right cards. The cards are always right. And that belief really formed the belief within me, so to say, and I felt so confident. So every time a card flipped, I didn't feel insecure or wonder why did this card come. If I didn't understand the full picture of the card, or if there was something that I really didn't get translated, I didn't focus on that it was the wrong card, I focused on, okay, well, what should I do now? I don't receive really the messages, okay, right now. Maybe I should let it be for a while, or, I start to look around it more. So I start to look for the solutions. And when we are more confident, that is exactly what we do. We look for the solutions and not the problems. In the beginning, I said that confidence is one of the most important, it plays a huge part in your spiritual involvement. Why does it do that? It does that because the trust I was talking about, right? But it also do that because of when we are evolving, when we are going through our different type of life challenges, or whatever we see it as, when we feel that we are facing certain type of changes, that we want to make changes in ourselves and so forth, we are many times experiencing and seeing a lot of problems, and we create a lot of problems. And the more that we get into this kind of spirituality or self-development or self-help and all of that, we find new things to question, we find new things to ask, we find new things to fix about ourselves, especially if we have that kind of fixer energy within us. Then we start to see a lot of problems, and the problems are coming and building up and building up and building up, right? But when we are confident, we see solutions rather than problems. Okay? We see solutions rather than problems. If you get great value out of this podcast, I know you are so dedicated to shift your circumstances around. And what I notice with dedicated people like you is that they tend to get stuck in a hard mode. This hard mode have the ingredients of pressure, disbelief in oneself, operating in a continuous fixing mode. And the tweak I've noticed has the greatest impact towards deep fulfillment is a shift in perspective, in how you are experiencing life. Changing my own perspective to life and continuously practicing a new way of experiencing my days has totally shifted my vibration at its core. An attitude change is an act of love towards your truest self. And that's why I created the coaching package Struggle Free, because I'm all about normalizing the new version of us that we truly are meant to be. So if you are ready to live life to the fullest, enjoying moments of everyday life and make it easier for yourself and desires to blossom, this coaching package is for you, where we're stepping out of the struggle and into a different way of living and operating from. Check the details in the description, where you can also book a free call to discuss it closer. So I have a video, I will link it down. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm talking about a problem mindset and how we sometimes can see our desires as problems, how we can see what we are desiring, make them be such a problem for ourselves, right? That happens, okay? So this is a little bit according to that. So if you want to go deeper into that subject, go and listen to that video. But anyhow, so one of the most helpful things when it has come to me feeling extremely confident in myself, what I'm capable of doing, my dreams, what I believe in, my trust in myself, so also the trust in the universe, is that I've started to really own my decisions, really love my decisions, really making my decisions the best decisions ever. Okay, so just one example. As I said, I will not go deeper into it so much because I go deeper into it than another one. But I, at a point, noticed that, and I still have that thing, I would say, that is one of the most things that I go through that I easily can, I don't get into decision, right? I'm taking a decision and then I'm thicker. And that is not always so helpful for me. And it also makes me feel insecure. It also makes me feel that I'm starting to question myself and so forth. So this is something that I have been practicing, and I'm continuously to practicing it. And it has really helped me and really take my confidence to a next level of bravery, I would say. Anyhow, so this is that when you're taking a decision, you gotta own that decision. You take a decision, and when you have taken it, it is that decision. Of course, you can always change. Of course, you can always make a difference, but it's more so about really owning the decision and saying, like, I took this decision, so I'm going to make the best out of this decision now. And that has become a really fun thing for me to do as well, because all of my decisions are a lot more delightful nowadays. They're fun, they're pleasurable. It feels nice to take decisions, okay? I love taking decisions nowadays because it actually feels so good to me, because I get to make my decisions so fun to experience. I make the best out of my decisions. This one is a biggie as well, and this is the last one that I will give you an action for today. So when it comes to being more confident, what I started to do is I started to really seek maybe it's the wrong word, but feel into, embrace, tune into my own validation a lot more. And I will explain to you what I mean with that. So when it comes to my desires, when it comes to my dreams, when it comes to things that haven't quite yet, like, so to say, manifested in the external world as I perceive it as, and when we still have this kind of internal conflict, this internal resistance towards our dreams, so to say, I have really made a difference in how I believe and trust in my dreams and believe and trust in myself and my visions and what I see for myself by stop seeking the external validation. Stop seeking so much about that this is happening now, so now I do have this manifestation, right? I'm seeing that I'm having this apartment. Let's say that it would be an apartment. Now it isn't that for me right now, but that was an example I got right now, right? So when I have this apartment, I know that this has worked out for me. I know that this is exactly what I've been building up for. I know that my dream is here now because I wanted a apartment, right? So instead, I focus on the initial idea. I focus on the initial vision, because I know that if I now have an apartment, there was a time when I had an insight, an idea of some sort, that for some reason I got a desire to move, right? I got a desire to move, whatever that reason was. That was a desire. That was something within me that sparked that desire, right? If I'm really tuning in and really are honest with my own desires, and I'm going for my desires and not for like something perceived to be some certain type of success, like when you're really true to your desires. That was what is I'm trying to say right now. Then I also know that I had that desire, right? And then I maybe got a vision. Maybe I got an idea, a picture of how that apartment would look like, or how I would have my lifestyle like. Got some type of ideas, pictures in my head, or feelings, sensations, whatever it is for you, or if it was all, right? All of that happened from within. All of that started with something that was ignited from within. So every time I feel that little spark, every time I have that ignition, I tell to myself that, wow, my desire has arrived. Wow. Oh, my dream has come true. Because I know also that if that is a desire that I will keep on going for, a desire I keep on wanting to evolve, keep on wanting to create something else, something even more tangible of, I will do so. But the initial desire is still there. You get me, right? So even if I'm never getting that apartment, even if I lose the interest of that desire, It doesn't matter, because from the beginning, I felt something from within. From the beginning, I had a vision. From the beginning, I created something. And it's matter of fact that we normally see that when we have a finished product in one way, then the desire is here, then we are accomplished, then we are successful. What is a finished idea or not, so to say? What is a finished product or not? When you have that apartment then later, then you don't see it as a finished product, because then you want your all the interior in there, or you want to color the walls or whatever, and then you realize that that was not in the best area, you wanted in another area, you weren't focused on that, so now you want something new. Like, when is it ever a finished product? When is it ever done? And because of that, why can't we just embrace when we get that spark, when we get that ignition, and then live on that sensation, live and breathe that into our everyday life? That have made me feel so much more confident, so much more trusting in myself, in the universe, all that is, because I know that the more that I continue to feel this desire from within, I will create even more so from that desire. But it's not that I will have desire or not have desire. I already have the desire. I already have the idea. I already have the insight. So what is it else to have, right? It's already mine, right? It's already mine. But I can evolve. I can build on that desire. I can make it even bigger. I can make it even more of that desire. You see the difference here? That has made a huge difference. And that is also, if you listen to my latest podcast, which I talked about making it the best spring ever, this is one of the things that I will do even more so this spring. That will really tune into my desire and just like, it's here. It's here. In the way that I see I'm successful, it's here. I'm feeling it. I'm having it within. The dream is here. Wow, it has arrived. I will celebrate every single moment of that one as much as I can. Okay, so I hope that this inspired you today, got you into this kind of vibe that you also can, tap into even more so of your confidence and be the most confident person you know, be in your most confident self. And I want to leave with one little action for today, because I like to do that. So we also integrate the knowledge, the wisdom that we receive, right? And I want you to think through everything that I talked about today and what sparked your desire the most, what sparked your interest the most. What is it that you want to kind of try on for a little while to see if that can boost your confidence? That is the first thing. The other thing is that I want you to also write down, before or after, it doesn't matter which order, but you write down, why do I want to become more confident? Write it down, have somewhere in the phone notes or whatever, because when we write these things out, we do also remind ourselves when we have these times of wavering or questioning ourselves, when we have these times of flickering in some certain type of way, right? Then we can come back to and look at it and see like, wow, this is the purpose for me, why I want to build more confidence. And this can be, for instance, as we said in the beginning, I want to have more trust towards everything is working out for me. I want to have more trust in the support from all that is, or whatever it is, right? Then I have to have the trust within me. Or it can be that I want to be so sure and secure in myself that I actually just boost myself. I'm not questioning myself, for instance, right? You have to form it a little bit different so you're not having nuts in the desire that is most desirable, so to say. But really feeling into and tuning into how it is, why you want to become confident. What's the desire? Why you want to become confident. Okay, I hope that this was a helpful episode for you today. Keep on listening to your within talks. See you next time. Take care of yourself. Bye.